Ransomware attacks drive majority of U.S. health data breaches, analysis shows. This was from a few days ago. A new study led by researchers from Michigan State University, Yale University, and Johns Hopkins University reveals that ransomware attacks, which involve a hacker putting encryption controls into a file and demanding ransom, have become the primary driver of healthcare data breaches in the U.S., compromising 285 million patient records over 15 years. Cheers. That is a lot. It's a lot. It is the most disruptive force in healthcare cybersecurity. Hospitals have been forced to delay care, shut down systems, and divert patients, all while sensitive patient data is held hostage. The study found, let me zoom in just a little bit. I think I can't. It's not going to show up well on on the screen. Sorry, folks. The study found that although ransomware accounted for just 11% of breaches in 2024 by number, those attacks alone. So I want a reading comprehension time. You actually have to turn on your brain to understand this. 11% of breaches in 2024 were ransomware. But all those 11% of breaches, ransomware breaches, accounted for 69% of patient records compromised that year. So I want you to think about what that means in terms of numerical disparity and the power of ransomware breaches. It accounts for only 11% of the types of breaches in healthcare, but leaks 69% of all patient records for just a single year, 2020. So since 2010, the ransomware incidents have contributed to the exposure of 285 million patient records, many of which likely involve multiple breaches of the same individuals. Ransomware breaches increased from 0 in 2010 to 222 just 11 years later, accounting for nearly 1/3 of all major healthcare breaches that year. The overall share of breaches caused by hacking or information technology incidents surged from 4% in 2010 to 81% in 2020. Of these 732 million total patient records exposed between 2010 and 2024, 88% or 643 million records were linked to hacking-related incidents, including 39%, 285 million, specifically from ransomware. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with tech, bros. Where are you at? That's right. No, there's nothing wrong with tech. Everything's great, right? We have amazing tools. I argued with someone just the other day on X about how, there's nothing wrong with the paradigms and abstractions that are being used. He's been using it with massive teams at Fortune 500 companies. His abstractions are the best. They work. He holds people's lives in his hands and he never has problems. He does the best that he can. It's, be realistic, man. So where are all the bros who are like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with tech. Everything's fine. We have the best tools we've ever had, the best paradigms we've ever had, the best languages we've ever had, the best hardware we've ever had. We can code like nobody's business. Think of the things we can produce today versus the 80s or the 90s or even the early 2000s. Do you really want to go back to that? Do you really want to write assembly, bro? That's what it would... That your Sparrows just said that we should write assembly again. Yeah. Yes. 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 We should. Because if the alternative is what's in front of your screen right now, this literally 404s people's lives or destroys their life if they remain on this mortal coil. Yeah, so yes, I would, yeah, absolutely. I'll gatekeep the hell out of the industry and go back to assembly if that's what it takes. Because the alternative has been nothing but disaster, and we continue on a speed run to it. Yeah, My Tech on YouTube. Appeal to Technology Authority. That's right. Yeah, 404's families. Yeah. The incredible thing is that these people who defend the current state of tech have no concept of the fact that this affects them too. This is their own health data. they're also affected by this. So they can't, they can't escape it. These numbers likely underestimate the true extent of the problem due to underreporting, reluctance to disclose ransom payments, and the exclusion of smaller breaches affecting fewer than 500 individuals. So these numbers might not even be the real number. In a 2019 study, the team was the first to classify these specific types of information leaked in healthcare breaches, finding that over 70% of breaches compromise sensitive demographic or financial data, such as social security numbers, birth dates, and bank accounts, that could lead to all the stuff that we have talked about before. In contrast, breaches involving sensitive medical information, such as mental health or cancer diagnoses, were far less frequent, but it's non-zero. We have a serious problem on our hands where the software that we run, the code we create, the way that we operate in this world with our software is immensely powerful, but that's not the way a lot of programmers see it. And not just programmers, this involves managers and executives and DevOps and sysadmin and even people who work in UX UI to some degree make decisions around these kinds of things. It's all of these things have huge impact on people's lives, including their own lives, but that's not the way they see it. It's disheartening.